Yesterday, we wrapped up our Hill Country series by talking about the easy way of division and the hard way of unity. Unity is one of the hardest things for us to achieve, and yet it is focused on in the New Testament over and over and over again. And we see it being highlighted and prayed over by Jesus in his last prayer. In his last prayer, recorded for us in John chapter 17, Jesus is praying for his disciples. He's praying for the 12 men that had followed him for 3 years, and then he switches and he prays for us, all those who would believe in Jesus because of their ministry. And I want to read it to you, and then I want to give you a good definition of unity, because I don't think I gave you a good definition yesterday. So Jesus is praying, and he says, Father, my prayer is not for them alone, not just for the 12 disciples, but I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message. That's us. If you've believed in Jesus, it's because of the work of the original disciples. And his prayer is that all of them, all of us who believe in Jesus, may be one. Just as you are in me and I am in you, Father, may they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them the glory you gave me, that they may be one as we are one. I in them and you in me, so that they may be brought to complete unity. Then the world will know that you sent me and have loved them even as you have loved me. It's very clear in this last moment that Jesus is very concerned that the people who would claim his name and would follow him would somehow find it within themselves through the power of God to be unified, to be marked by unity. And I think sometimes we get that confused, or maybe we don't have a full picture of what unity looks like. So I've been just kind of trying to figure out exactly what's the simplest explanation but the most true explanation of unity, because it's not just agreeing with each other. In fact, it's far from that. Unity is not always thinking like everybody else. Unity is not always agreeing with everybody else, because if you've been in a relationship with a human being, you know you don't always agree, and you know you don't always think alike. And so that's not unity. That's just hive thinking. That's just groupthink, and that is not unity. There's something much, much deeper and much more powerful in unity than just agreeing with one another. In fact, unity has more to do with disagreeing with each other than it does with agreeing with each other. You see, unity, the word that's translated from Greek into English, carries with it relational commitment. That unity, this idea that we are committed relationally no matter what. It is bigger than agreeing with each other. It is the ability to be committed to each other so that disagreements on doctrinal, political, or personal issues don't jeopardize our relationships. In other words, unity is such a powerful thing that when you disagree with somebody you are committed to being united with, the disagreement does not jeopardize that relationship. So Jesus's prayer is that his followers would look to each other and look at each other and love each other so deeply and so in such a committed way that when they eventually inevitably disagreed on a doctrinal issue, when they inevitably disagree on some political issue, or certainly when they disagree on a personal issue, that those disagreements don't separate, don't end the relationship. In fact, they make the relationship stronger because both people or both groups are willing to do what it takes to make the relationship work despite disagreeing. So let's think about that in the context of the American church, and let's think about that in the context of our own church. The American church is really bad at this, and we have been for 200 years. That's why there are over 1,400 different denominations, which means division, people of a divided name. So I think as Jesus followers, if we're going to answer the prayer of Jesus, we must be willing to universally just say, if you're a Jesus follower, you are my brother and you are my sister. We might not agree on everything, but I refuse to let those disagreements jeopardize our relationships. Now that's easy in the big picture because we're not intertwined, we're not close to those people. But how about the people you're close to? How about the people in your group, your family? Maybe you have a circle group, maybe you have a circle of friends, or let's just consider our church family. What do you do when you disagree with somebody in those small circles? Well, if you're going to answer Jesus' prayer, you would be so committed to them that it doesn't matter what you disagree on. It does not jeopardize those relationships. So unity sticks. Unity doesn't walk away. This is what we've done in our society is, if I disagree with you, then we can't be friends. If I disagree with you, then I can't go to church with you. If I disagree with you, I'm going to walk away from you and walk to somebody that I agree with. And that is not the unity that Jesus was talking about. The unity that Jesus was talking about was, I disagree with you, but I love you so much, I'm going to figure out how to make this work, and our relationship will get better. So may you and I do everything it takes to be unified so that we can be the answer to the prayer of Jesus, that we would find ourselves in complete unity, learning to disagree correctly, learning to disagree in a way that actually makes us stronger. So you go be a unifying presence wherever you go. Bye.